Hello, everybody. Gail Zintek here. It's truly a privilege and an honor to be sharing with you today, coming to you from my home in Three Rivers, Michigan. If you don't know where that is, just find the heart in the southwest corner of Michigan, and that's where you'll find Steve and I. Cody, Jody, Greg, corporate staff, thank you for this opportunity to share a few moments of my thoughts and ideas around a referral-based business, creating more abundance in your life. It's truly a privilege to be here, so thank you. Today's message has been marinating in my heart for the past several months, and when I was thinking about what I was going to share, bees and flowers kept coming to my mind. Bees and flowers, be the flower, attract the bees, and we're going to talk about that today, as well as I want you to write down these three words: thoughts, environment, and habits. Your thoughts, your environment, and your habit. It's really quite simple, what I'm going to share with you, but it's also hard. It's hard for a moment in time. In life, we do things in order to be great at anything. It takes effort. It takes skills. It takes time on task. It's hard before it gets easier. So we're going to share some ideas with you today that hopefully, if you're starting out hard, we can make it easier, and then you can experience the referral-based business that you're longing to have. I go back to 2004, 2006. Steve and I received our real estate licenses. We joined a BNI chapter in 2006. We found send-out cards in 2007. In 2008, the real estate recession hit, and we went to work. Core purpose, both of Steve and I, we work hard, we work diligently. And so we went to work, and we built our relationships. We showed up at BNI every week. We sent the cards and gifts. And over time, over the course of the next 4 years, we went from 35% to 100% referral business, and we were able to maintain that. But for those 4 to 5 years, it was hard, and then it became easy. When you master your thoughts and your environment and your habits, you'll obtain the victories in life. I learned some interesting things. I mentioned bees and flowers. So you see some flowers behind me. I got these little bees, and they remind me of business. So think of this: the flower is the business owner, and the customer and client are the bees. And it's very important for the longevity and the sustainability of business for you to attract lots and lots of bees or customers. Sustainability. As flowers grow, they produce the nectar that attracts those bees. So we are at any given time either a flower or a bee. We are either receiving, think about that, the flowers stand, they receive the pollinators, and the bees are seeking. The bees are seeking for that. We're either standing in our greatness or we're engaged in learning. And here we are together today and yesterday to learn. So our job is to create the pollen, to create the nectar, to attract the pollinators to us. So as the flower, as the business owner, are you confident? Are you self-assured? Is your nectar, your knowledge, your attitude, your character, your values, is your nectar sweet so that it attracts, or does it repel? Do you create an environment where people want to stick around to collect your pollen? Do you make the experience such that they want to share who you are with others? How we present ourselves is important to attracting our clients. How we do business will dictate if they will take of our nectar, collect our pollen, and then go spread it out to others, creating this business model we know and love as referral-based business. Presenting the best version of yourself in your dress, your posture, your attitude, you'll draw people to you. When people have a great experience, they will take of your nectar and your pollen and they will spread it to others. The best compliment we can receive is what? A referral to a family member or a friend. Recently, I was standing right here. Steve was sitting right behind me, And I was listening to a voice message that he received from a lady he had never met. You see, this lady was one of his BNI members, Nick. It was Nick's wife's aunt who is moving back to the area to be closer to family. And she had been given Steve's name, Steve standing as the flower and attracting that phone call to him. So I want you to think about that. Be the flower. There's times to be the flower and there's times to be the bee. And Steve just happened to be on the receiving end. But here's what Steve does. Steve gives the best version of himself away every single day. His integrity is unmatched. Unmatched. So Nick has confidence in Steve to talk to his wife, who Steve hasn't spent much time with, maybe on a couple social gatherings, to refer her aunt to Steve. So discovering your true identity and standing in that confident state is the catalyst to attract those others to you. It should be every business owner's goal to identify with and become that certain flower. I'm going to share some different flowers with you today. Now, if you're new or just starting out in business or in sales, chances are you're the bee. You're seeking, you're out seeking information, you're seeking knowledge. You read books, you attend networking events so that you can meet people to grow your network, those flowers out there. You listen to podcasts so that you can be inspired and gain knowledge. And as you learn and grow, you blossom as the flower. So sustainability and longevity in business requires us the ability to attract the bees, to attract the customers, and then have them spread our pollen to others. Okay, here's some insights I've learned from study, or just like didn't really study, but researched a little bit about flowers and bees, because there's many, many varieties, right? So I went on social media and I asked on Facebook, what is your favorite flower? And I enjoyed the responses I got. Some were just the name of the flower and some were the name of the flower because, but we had orchids, poppies, hydrangeas, sunflowers, tulips, calla lilies, lilacs, roses, daisies, peony, and even dandelions made that list. See, I believe we're drawn to certain things because of who we are. And each flower has a meaning. And so I took some time, me and Google, and I looked up the meanings of flowers. Here's what I found about lilacs. Lilacs are one of the earliest spring blooms. And they create happiness in me. Every time I walk by a lilac tree, or drive by, see a lilac bush and the flowers, the different colors, I'm happy. Lilacs make me happy because you know what? We've experienced lilacs enough that we know the fragrance, we know the flower, and we enjoy it. So if you enjoy something, what do? You come back to it. Lilacs symbolize spring and renewal. They also symbolize confidence. Their different colors represent different things. White is purity and innocence. Violet, spirituality. Blue, happiness and tranquility. Magenta, love and passion. And the light purple, first love. Do you resonate with the lilac? Tulips. Tulips were another popular choice on my survey. They're another spring flower. And I love tulips. My birthday's in April, so maybe I just love that living in Southwest Michigan after a cold winter, and you know, you get those early sunshine days with the daffodils, the tulips, the crocus, they're all popping through the earth, adding color and vibrancy. I like tulips. Red tulips represent true love. Pink tulips, happiness and confidence. Purple, royalty. Yellow tulips, cheerful thoughts. And white tulips, forgiveness. Maybe you resonate with the tulip. Then there's orchids. So I have an orchid, see right back there, I have an orchid behind me. I've never been really pulled into orchids, but lots of people, and here's what I found about orchids. The orchids on my list are the people I asked what their favorite flower, and they said orchids. They usually had a brilliant description of why that was an important flower to them. So here's what I found. They are similar in their thought and passion. So orchids are the most covenant of ornamental plants. They are delicate and exotic. Orchids represent love, luxury, beauty, and strength. So maybe you're an orchid, or maybe you resonate with orchids, or if you know orchids, you can identify them. Sunflowers. Sunflowers symbolize adoration, loyalty, and longevity. They get their name from the sun. They're the only flower out of 400,000 that have flower in its name. Sunflowers have an internal clock. They face east. Listen to this. To keep the bees and other insects happy. Researchers found that east-facing flowers heat up more quickly and attract 5 times more pollinators than west-facing blooms. So here's my correlation to you business owners. Find the sun, find the energy that you can face so that you can attract 5 times more pollinating bees, okay? Now, I've enjoyed sunflowers. Recently on Facebook, I saw one of my friends posted that she had gotten some pictures taken at the Quarry Lake Orchards, and I'm like, hey, the Quarry Lake Orchards is like right down the road from my house. And so I was out on a bike ride one day, and I went past the Quarry Lake Orchard, and I glanced to my right, and there they were, the sunflowers. So turn my bike around, I go to the sunflower fields, and I was amazed. I didn't even know this was so close to my home. This environment was so close to my home. But I went amongst the sunflowers. I took selfies amongst the sunflowers. The tractor, I took pictures of the bees that were landing on the sunflowers and watching them gather the nectar and the pollen so that they could go off and create sustainability and action. You know, all these things that went through my mind. But here's the reality is I enjoyed the energy I felt being in the sunflower field. So that made me realize that if we are the energy and we attract other things to us that create and build upon our energy, it makes us for a much happier person. So as this relates to business and as this relates to you, think about these flowers and the descriptions I've given. Are people drawn to you because of your confidence, as in a lilac? Perhaps it's the happiness and cheerfulness of the pink and yellow tulips. Do you embody strength, beauty, and elegance like the orchid? Do you resonate with the sunflower in its adoration, loyalty, and longevity? Just those words alone in business: adoration, loyalty, and longevity. So are you starting to see how different flowers embody characteristics that we as humans also have as business owners? So stand tall as your most vibrant, most beautiful flower that you can be. Stay strong in who you are meant to be, and draw that back to you. What you send out always comes back. Your environment is crucial. Many factors play into your environment. So we all have energy. It's magnetic. If you like what you attract throughout the day-to-day basis, then, you know, hang on to that magnet because it's serving you well. If you don't like what's attracting into your life, then it's time to maybe pause and take a look internally at what's going on. Think about, who do you hang out with? How is the energy in your home? How is the energy at your office? How's your energy? Do you lean towards abundance or the scarcity mindset? Is your environment one of positivity and enthusiasm? Or is there a lot of pessimism, complaining, and negativity? Identify the strengths of your current environment. So take out a sheet of paper and your note paper. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to draw just 2 lines to create 3 columns. And in your first column, I want you to write down your top 5 dreams and goals. So just write top 5 dreams, goals at the top of that column. And you're not going to have maybe time to do it unless you really got them nailed down and you can just write them right out. We don't have time right now. But over the next 24 hours, I want you to complete this list for me. Would you please? Message me on social media. Let me know that you did it. I'll be proud of you. I promise I'll be proud of you. Now, these could be short-term goals, long-term goals, lifelong goals. These are the goals that make you jump out of bed in the morning. These are the goals that make you happy and feeling inside. These are the goals that make your palms sweaty. They are exciting, and there's something you're working towards every day. I want you to write those down. I'll share mine with you. Mine are to live my happiest, healthiest, best version of myself to my greatest potential. That's my first number one goal, because without my health, I cannot create my wealth. To become an Eagle affiliate with Send Out Cards. To travel the US in a motorhome with Steve. And that dream and goal has been on our ideas for decades. The last 5 years we've talked about it. The last 3 years it's ended up on our vision board. And Steve's been the bee. Steve has researched for the last 2.5 years. He's researched, he's watched podcasts, listened to podcasts, he's watched YouTube. When we go camping, or when we went camping this year with my daughter, and we walked the campground, and he's talking to people who own motorhomes. He's having conversations. He's the bee. He's collecting all of this information, and we're ready. Adventurous trips with our grandchildren as teenagers. 10 years ago, I wrote this down as a goal when my oldest grandchild was 8. Now she's 18. We had a beautiful trip to Hawaii with McKenna, just prior to her 15th birthday. This year, Zoe turned 15. She's our next oldest. And with everything that's happening in the world right now, we just chose to put that off. But her goal and dream is to travel Europe and to visit the Anne Frank Museum. And we're going to make that a reality just as soon as we can. And Jameson, he's going to just go fish in the Bahamas. He and Papa are going to go charter fish, and I'm going to get to sit on the beach and read a book and enjoy my life. Sounds great to me. Piper, she wants to go to Paris, France, and they change, but being able to cultivate these dreams in our grandchildren has been really exciting and part of the fun, adventurous process. Number 5, my lifelong goal is to inspire possibilities, to live my life every day on purpose and inspire possibilities in others, that you can have whatever you want in life. All right. I love my dreams and goals. They excite me. Okay. Next, I want you to write down your top 5 values on the far right. So the far right column, leave the middle one empty for right now. And the top far, it's your 5 values. These are your standards. These are your core values of who you are. Your integrity, caring, loyalty, happy, energetic, enthusiastic, fun, hardworking. Who are you? Write that down right now. Some of the ones I wrote down were happiness, kindness, obedience to my promptings, love, achievement, and fulfillment. Those are the things that are important to me in my life. Now, that middle column, these are the 5 people you spend the most time with. 5 people you spend the most time with. Write them down. And as I think back over the last 6 months, there were times that I didn't spend a whole lot of time with many people, but Steve Zintek's always been here. Steve Zintek and I have been married for 42 years. We enjoy each other's company. We love to dream together. We love to do things together. We love doing life and business together. We are a perfect sunflower match, if I say so myself. I've spent a lot of time with myself. Think about that. I hope you would reserve room on your list to write yourself down, because it's important to spend time with yourself. It's important to spend time in your thoughts, your feelings, your dreams, your ideas, your purpose, your vision for life. Become who you are meant to become. Put yourself on the list. You're important. Steve Trzak, he's my health and fitness coach. He is one that's helped me to understand that I can live to my best and healthiest potential that I didn't know. Surround yourself with people that take a hand and pull you up and encourage and inspire you who you can be. Steve is one of those for me. Andrea, my daughter, I have 3 kids, Gabe, Andrea, and Jordan, but Andrea and I probably spend the most time together. And she's a beautiful adult woman that I cherish. I love, we have that mother-daughter connection, and I love watching her live life and do life with her family and her friends. She's an amazing human. Wendy Braden is my friend who has taught me to live my best life, to understand who I am as a person. She's uplifted me, and I adore the relationship and the energy that we share with one another. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to draw a line. Excuse me. I want you to draw a line from the people in the middle. If they directly or indirectly affect you with your goals and your dreams, or they identify with your goals and dreams, then I want you to draw a line there. Now, I want you to do the same thing with each person if they identify with your top 5 values. And it's okay if they don't match. It's okay if you can't draw a line. This is just what's telling you that there's opportunity for growth. There's opportunity for you to know who you are and to surround yourself with the people that represent who you are to yourself. So my friend Josh shared recently that the people you hang around is the person you become. So you have to choose wisely. If you're in a room with 5 happy people, guess what? You're the 6th. If you're in a room with 5 fit and healthy people, or people who have a mindset or that are working towards that fitness goal, you'll be the 6th. If you're in a room with 5 negative, pessimistic, grumpy old people, then chances are you might be the 6th. So choose wisely. I'm going to share some ideas around habits, creating momentum through consistent efforts. Pedaling creates momentum. So we're going to talk about pedaling a bike. It's easier to maintain balance when you keep pedaling. Pedaling creates momentum in your life and in your business, as long as you stay consistent. So I live out here at the lake. This spring, I was pedaling my way around the lake on my bike. I have a trek bike with 21 speeds, and I didn't really understand how to use all those speeds at first, right? I just would pedal, and I was like, man, this is hard. And I'd be messing around, and I'd have my mind off things, but I'd keep pedaling. But that first ride this year, I got off my bike 3 times because I just couldn't handle the hills. I was winded. And so over the course of time, I learned the route. I learned my bike. I learned my abilities. I pushed myself a little harder. I stayed consistent. Here's what pedaling represents in life. Pedaling represents your daily personal development, the books you read, the podcasts you listen to, what you feel up here. You know, are you watching a lot of TV? Switch it over. Find some things that will feed your mind and help you to grow. Building strong relationships through social media, through just reaching out in kindness, texting, calling people, building those relationships, sending cards. And for those of you that are listening in that are building your send out cards business, showing others how to send cards and earning your rewards. That's pedaling. Keep pedaling. If you stop pedaling, you stop listening to the books, you stop listening to the podcast, you stop reading books that are building your mindset, you stop sending cards, you stop building your relationships, you're going to step off your bike like I did this spring. But when you keep pedaling and you keep the consistent effort going, you're going to create results. Pedaling will open doors for you. So as I relate now to riding my bike around the lake, I know now I've learned how to use my bike because I've done it consistently. I know when I need to, I don't even know if it's downshift or upshift. I know when I need to make it harder to pedal as I'm going down the hill so that when I approach the uphill, I can click, click, click back so that, you know, as I get into the hills, I can be pedaling faster and keep my balance, keep my momentum, keep going. And earlier this year, before I'd really mastered, and I still have not mastered these hills, but when I was approaching Sharon Hill, it's my hill down here, and I thought to myself, okay, I need to adjust my speed. And there was a lady walking her dog, and as I rode past her, I'm downshifting or upshifting. I'm making it easier, and I glanced over. I said, "Wish me luck as I go up here." And I'm pedaling, and as I get more to the top, I have to stand up and lean over my handlebars, and I'm pedaling, and I'm just really pushing into it, just using the whole core of my purpose to do this. And when I got to the top of the hill, I was like, yes. And behind me, the lady I don't even know walking her dog said, woo, you did it. And so did that give me energy? Did that give me energy to keep going? So the next time I had more energy approaching that hill. And I want you to think about that. The more cards you send, the more books you read, the more ideas that you put into your self-help, your thoughts, you're going to become stronger. You're going to become more consistent. You're going to have the results because, as I said, your consistent pedaling will open doors for you. Now, to enjoy and maintain a referral-based business, you must create and maintain strong, healthy habits and relationships within an environment that supports you becoming your best self. That's why you're here this week. That's why you're here at the Relationship Marketing Grand Summit. You're here to learn and grow as business owners and as all-around human beings. Remember at the beginning when I said at any given time, we are either a bee or we're the flower. Yesterday and today, you, me, all of us here are bees. We're here in proximity via streaming, taking in amongst the beautiful bouquet of flowers that Cody and the team has brought together for us to learn from. They are all here opening up their petals, their selves, their hearts to share with us all their knowledge and their hearts. They graciously share their nectar with us. They stand tall in their greatness. We are the bees. It is our job to collect the pollen from everything that we're learning this week and then to go out and spread that pollen to others. You will know when it's time to transition back into the glorious flower that you are. But I want you to know that it's imperative that you become the best version of you. Don't compare yourself to any other person. You become the best flower that you're meant to be. You're not for everyone, and everyone's not for you. You do not have to go out and win the world to build a successful business. You have to win the hearts and minds of a few people who share you with a few people who share you with a few more people. You will build a sustainable business model that will carry you through prosperity and abundance. As you stand in your greatness, you'll attract the pollinators that will taste of your nectar, and they'll go out and share it. So I want you to stand tall, stand strong, be fragrant like the spring lilac, be confident, show your vibrancy like the zinnia gardens and the Gerber daisies, share your energy like the sunflower, attract the bees to you, become the flower. You are the most beautiful flower in creation. Stand tall, stand strong. Thank you for allowing me to share this idea, these thoughts with you. I appreciate you. I'm cheering you on. And let's go. Let's go make a difference in this world. Love y'all. Thanks. Bye-bye.